TRE, Mac Dad of Love, heading to the bar. Put a leash on your girl. Straight clubbing. Yes, we thuggin'. Your girl watching me, and you know she love it. Straight clubbing. Yes, we thuggin'. Your girl watching me, and you know I love it. Straight clubbing. Yes, we thuggin'. Your girl watching us, and you know we love it. Straight clubbing. All money reppin' in the van. Yes, we thuggin'. Now your girl is a fan. Your girl watching me, cause she holding my hand. Now she hanging with a star, so she got a lot of fans. Pulling up quick, chain so sick. Heading to the bar with the.
It's practice for you and it's practice for me.
Alright, so we're here today with the world famous TRE. So Matt Daddy Love, coming to you from A-Dab. So why don't you go ahead, state your name, state where you're from, a little bit about you.
Yeah. Well, I'm TRE, Mac Dad of Love, out of Mobile, Alabama. You know, I started this music thing, I'd say about 7 years ago. I started really writing when I was in Oman, that's overseas, and thumb rate. And I got inspired by my cousin. You know, he a real good rapper and everything, and he just never really seen me, you know, rap before, so I wanted to really impress him. So, you know, when I came back to the States, I had a song called Love Yourself, and that song was a big banger overseas, you know. So I came back with a bang, and he really gave me props for it.
So you said you got into it when you were younger?
You know, when I was younger, you know, I wrote a lot of poetry, poems. I wasn't really rapping at the time, but I always used to write poems for, you know, my lady friends and things of that nature, and I'm very poetic, you know, and I got a lot of my inspiration from, you know, people like Tupac. You know, he's a real poetic person, and I got a lot of influence from my daddy, because he can write also. So, you know, and every time I had a chance, I write, and I actually would let him hear it. And he said, "Son, you really got a talent." So I kept writing ever since.
So would you say that you were younger and you just admired your dad, and that's what got you to writing the poetry and then eventually into rap?
Yeah, my daddy, he's a very big influence in my life, you know. I feel like that I'm a duplicate of him, you know. His swag, his style, everything about him, you know. Like, he's a very inspirational person to me, you know. He's a real harsh critic to me too, so at times I don't want to hear it, but most of the time he is right, you know. So it make me work harder and harder and harder to try to come back with better material.
So you said you went to Oman, and that's when you really started. So what was the closing gap where you decided, let me take my poetry, turn it into music, and start doing music as a side gig?
Well, when I went to Oman, my two goals was to get in shape and to try to at least, you know, make a song. So I wasn't really all in on it, but I had this person named Labat, and he actually brought his equipment up to Oman, shipped it. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. And we both had two different schedules, so I had to make make sure that he had time to actually record, and it wasn't easy, but I actually wanted to start writing, because because I felt a lot of pain in my heart about a lot of things that was going on back home. So I just felt like, I think this is the time for me to start putting my talent to use.
So do you think growing up in Mobile, where you said a lot of stuff was going back on at home, do you think that influenced you mainly? Was it that? Was it your dad? Was it the city you grew up in? What events led up to you? I have to take this, what's going on, and turn it into a song turn into a positive, basically.
Growing up in Mobile is tough. You got a lot of poverty. Which poverty is everywhere, but in Mobile, it's hard to get out. If you don't have a strong mind, you're gonna be stuck at the place you at for years and years to come. Mobile is just like a routine. You get off work, you either work at a shipyard or maybe at a jail or whatever, but you get off, most times go get a beer, drink with your homies or whatever, and take it in. That's your routine. But I feel like me going overseas gave me a break, and it gave me the opportunity to really think back on all the things that I went through, and I wanted to make a difference, like a positive energy in my city, because I want to be the biggest person in my city one day. So, and plus I want my music to reflect me, and I want to help the kids out, especially on my street alone, because these kids need guidance. I mean, these days, kids raising themselves, and most of the kids on the street actually look up to me. So, so I want to be a positive influence on their life, and rather than just talking about it, I'm trying to put my actions to work.
All right, I respect that. So when you were overseas and you were coming out with these different songs and stuff like that, did you think that this was something you want to do? Were you planning to turn the songs to an album eventually, or did you just kind of keep them to yourself? What led up to writing to actually make an album?
Well, really, making an album wasn't really on my bucket list. My purpose was to really just make songs for my friends and my family, so they can really actually say, TRE can really write music, so because a lot of people that's in my family and my friends never really seen me rap. So I said, well, going overseas was the perfect opportunity because I had number time, and so I just put all my energy, put all my past experiences, put all the stuff that I've actually been through and seen inside my rap, and plus I wanted to make music for everybody, not just for a certain set of people. I'm trying to be global, and I'm not really all about the money, which money is the focal point, but I actually want to change lives. I actually want to change lives. So and I think if you listen to my music, which I'm on SoundCloud, type in TRE, Mac Dad of Love, you will find my music. It will touch you, trust me.
So you get back from Oman, and what's the next step you did? You said, okay, I want to make this album. I want to get into music. I had a friend help me with this equipment. What led you to a studio in Mobile, creating this album?
Well, when I finally came back to the States, and when I finally went to the studio for the first time, I'm in a real studio, not just overseas inside a little dorm room or nothing. Like a real studio. I was nervous, which I never done it before. I was way off beat, off tempo. But when I finally got the hang of it, it's like I got addicted, you know, of hearing myself. Because whenever you hear yourself on a record, it really touches you, you know, and that's like the best feeling in the world. And I go to a person named Brian, give shout out to him. Brian, you know, in Mobile, and he's a real good producer. And he actually helped me out a lot because he actually do more than just produce. He actually have a band that he actually go out on the road and perform. So he actually gave me a whole lot of tips on how to record. So big shout outs to him. But yeah, you know, when I got back, my whole purpose was to first make my family proud and my friends proud, but really make me proud because my music touched a lot of people overseas. Because that Love Yourself's record was very huge. Go check it out because it will touch you. But it's that was a real big time. You know, that was around 2015, and it really changed my life.
So you get back, you start working this album at the studio, you get deployed here. What's your plans here? What can we expect to see from TRE here and immediately after he gets back stateside?
Well, what you can expect here is for me to first take back what is mine, meaning like I feel like I lost something before I came here. You know, I kind of lost hope a little bit because of certain situations in my life, but now I'm really just focusing on my health, my physical conditions, and just writing my ass off, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm writing songs here better than what I did on my last deployment, you know, because I'm better now. I'm more of a perfectionist at my craft. So here I just want to be nonstop, go to work, come back, go to the gym, and write. When I get back to the States, it's on, it's popping, you know, because it's gonna be nonstop work ethic. Studio, you know. Be looking for videos, which I never done one before, but it will be coming very soon, and probably gonna make my first video my #1 hit song that I made before I came here, called Straight Clubbing. That's a real club banger. Go check that out on SoundCloud. Type in TRE, Make That a Love.
Link will be in the description, of course. So you get here. What was the turning point where you're like, okay, I want to take my music from SoundCloud, put it on YouTube? And second question to that is, are you just gonna put music related stuff on there? Are you gonna do vlogging? What's this? What got you your channel, and what do we expect to see coming from the channel in the future? Okay,
on SoundCloud, not too many people know about SoundCloud because I've been, telling people SoundCloud, half of them don't even know what that is or even where to go. So I said, well, I need something where I can really get my name out there. And a person told me about put yourself on YouTube. So now, so now I do have a channel now, and I want to just load all my best work, all my best material, so I can keep you updated on everything that I'm doing. And I'm not big on really social media, but I know I got to do it because it's the new age now. So I got to get all that. I got to get you know, the Twitters, everything that I need, so my fans can keep me, but so they can keep track of me on where I'm at. So yeah, just go to my channel, which is TREMDOL. You know, go on there. But I only got like 2 songs on there and 1 video. So go check it out. You know what I'm saying. But just know that I'm different. I'm like no other rapper you have heard before, and my music will touch you in some type of way. You know, but I got plenty of songs. Most of them on SoundCloud, which I'm gonna get those on YouTube. But just know that I'm trying to drop a song every week when I get back to the States.
Respect. Check it out. And like I said, all his stuff will be in the description. But I guess the biggest question everybody has is, maybe not the biggest, second biggest question everybody has is probably how did you get the name TRE, the Mac Daddy of Love? What's the story behind that? Because I don't think I've heard that one yet.
Oh man, the name TRE, Mac Daddy of Love. Well, you know, TRE, you know, which is Trey, which I'm the third. You know, that came from my mom and my dad. You know, because of Trace. That mean, you know, or Trey, that mean 3. So, but the Mac Daddy of Love part, you know, came from because I always consider myself a Mac. You know, I guess like macking the girls. You know, just just giving girls that punchline. You know, and I know when I was like 7 or 8, I always called myself the Mac Daddy, the Mac Daddy, you know, and one day I just say, TRE, Mac Dad of Love, you know, and it just had a ring to it, and and I just felt like that was a name that actually represented me to the fullest, you know. So so it's nothing fake about it, you know. TRE, Mac Daddy of Love sound good to me.
And I guess the biggest question, should probably be the final question here, is you get back stateside, what do we expect from you in the future, right? Do you expect to do tours? Do you expect to do studio albums, you know, in shows anytime soon? Do you expect to merchandise? What's the future of TRE? What can we expect 5 years down the line?
5 years down the line? Well, 5 years down the line, I hope I would be touring the world, meaning, you know, I take the small markets first. Wherever I gotta go to get seen, I go. I don't care if it's a crab shack. Shit, book me. Shit, I don't care if it's $300. I'll be there, you know, ready, you know. But when I get back to the States, I want to make my first video, and it's gonna be live. Trust me, it's gonna be live. My boy Smith gonna help me out with it, and you know, and 5 years, Lord, you know, I just hope, you know, to be known as a person that changed lives, because I want to see people actually cry during my performances. That's how deep my songs are, and that's what I want people to feel. because I want to give people that same feeling that Pac gave his artists when he was alive, you know. So, but I'm trying to be different from every artist. I don't sound like no other artist. I'm not trying to be like no other artist. I'm TRE, Mac Dad of Love, you know. And I feel like I'm one of a kind. And I got a song called Chilling on My Own Throne, which I think, you know, that title fits me very well because I feel like I'm one of a kind and I don't think nobody can touch my music. So just be looking out for all my material, all my work, all my videos, and I hope to be touring to a city near you. TRE, Make That of Love.
Do you have any final thing you want to say before we go ahead and end this?
Yeah, you know, I just want to say thank you for all my fans that I have thus far, you know, because I got a lot of them, you know. Most of them, you know, yeah, they in Mobile, but I do have fans that I have touched that is overseas, you know. So big ups to the ones that love my music. Big ups to the ones that don't like my music. But I'm telling you this here, if you listen to me long enough, you will be touched. Trust me, in one form or fashion or another, you will be touched. And I'm a trendsetter. You know, and just know that when you hear my music, I want you to just feel at peace and feel at home. Because this is TRE, Mac Dad of Love, chilling on my own throne.